Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I brought you guys a brand new rumor video today for the Crown Tundra DLC and beyond. We've actually got a handful of rumors today, man, and this is gonna be a wild video, so get yourself ready. And I'll be honest, I thought the rumor season was pretty much over, dude, and then Pokemon said that there's a new announcement next week, and the mill has been turning and turning and turning. We've got some crazy stuff to cover in this video, but as always, we want to take it with a bit of a grain of salt because you never know. We've had some interesting stuff come through in the past, but this one's pretty nuts, man, and I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. Be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe if you guys are new, and get those notifications turned on as you do not want to miss the epic content I have on the channel, of course. I know a lot of people were confused about my little bumblebee here back here, but that's because I'm in the middle of an 80-hour marathon live stream on my channel, twitch.tv/aDrive, but this should be the last video I record in this room. I'll have my office back tomorrow when Joey finishes up there. But let's not waste any more time, man. I want to jump into this video and show you guys all of these incredible new rumors. Alright, so I told you guys there's a ton of new rumors, and if you saw my video yesterday about the Crown Tundra leaks, there's a lot of speculation moving forward about Let's Go Johto, and you're gonna see that's a theme in some of these rumors. So let's talk about this. This one feels a little too good to be true, if I'm being totally honest, but you never know. So let's take a look. I just recently got information on what's gonna be shown in the Direct next week. Believe this or not, it's not my problem, but here's what is gonna be shown. Opens up with the Crown Tundra overview trailer showing a few things such as the map and returning Pokemon. It teases a new form of Regigigas, and the release date is supposed to be September 9th, which is a bit earlier than our typical November release date, which is a placeholder right now. It talks about the Pokemon Snap release date being July 10th, which I do find it would be a little bit weird. Why would they not give us the release date for the last event? But I guess I can understand them holding off because from a marketing perspective, they didn't want to impact sales of Isle of Armor. So I guess I can let that idea pass. I think I can see that. Pokémon Tournament 2 announced for early 2021, which would be very interesting. So that would be early next year. So this is saying that Pokémon comes out early next year, and then Pokemon Snap comes out July 10th, which I'm assuming has to be next year, but I don't know if this is saying this year. I just can't see how Pokemon Snap would come out this year when it said it was in development. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me, but who knows? I mean, we really don't know. It could have been in development for years and we have no clue. Let's Go Umbreon and Let's Go Espeon, they said that there was a typo there, is going to be announced for November 20th this year. It shows both Johto and Kanto in the game, as well as some things like Pokemon following you and the day and night cycle. The final thing is a Diamond Pearl remake teaser. It shows Dialga and Palkia with a new form, and it says the names are Timeless Diamond and Spaceless Pearl, and they will release November 2021. I'll see you on the 24th, which is just a few days away. Now again, this rumor seems very fan servicey, right? It seems like it just hits on everything that we could want, and it's too, in my opinion, probably too good to be true, but I think there's some interesting ideas to be taken out of here. The Isle of Armor trailer that we just got that talked about Pokemon Snap, whatever else, said, of course, that there's a new announcement next week, and it would make sense for them to announce something big, because why would they separate it into an entirely new announcement if it wasn't going to be something big? You got to think of it this way. They needed to announce something new without jeopardizing the sales of the Isle of Armor, because if they said, okay, there's going to be a new game this year, people might be less likely to buy the Isle of Armor during that presentation, which was really about, hey, the Isle of Armor is about to come out. So I do think this could be a little bit far-fetched, but some pretty interesting takeaways here. I do think that there's a really good chance that we're going to get some sort of Johto remake this year, now that we're getting this new announcement. I have really fallen into that hole, and I think I might be setting myself up for disappointment. But let's take a look at the next one. Here we go again, man. A Let's Go Ho-Oh and Let's Go Lugia game. Now, I will say that I know that those artwork is fan art. Like, I know that that's not officially confirmed. Like, the Pokeball and the Joy-Cons, that is fan art that someone had made. But let's read this post here. Still coming this year, November release date. Art style is the same as Let's Go, which does make sense, right? If they were to have another Let's Go styled game and used it in the same engine, kept that same art style, it would be very feasible for them to release it this year. New Pokeball Plus, but it's a Moon Ball instead of the Pokeball, which I find to be quite interesting. Pokemon still follow you. There's eggs now, which was a feature that was added in Gen 2. A day and night cycle, held items and abilities are back, which wouldn't be that big of a deal. I think I could see them adding held items and abilities. You play as Ethan or Chris, which are the main characters, instead of new characters. Silver is still your rival. The story takes place 3 years after Pikachu and Eevee. and no partner Pokemon like Pikachu and Eevee. You actually choose one of the 3 starters and they can still evolve. So a little bit more true to the kind of the original Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Gold and Silver style games. Feature like Pokemon Ami included. There's functionality with Pokemon Home. It's only Kanto and Johto Pokemon. You still go to Kanto in the post game, and there's new megas including the starters and Dragonite. The Crystal Battle Tower is in the game. Pokegear is back. Still no HMs, and you can rematch the gym leaders once per day. Again, seems very good to be true, but this one is a bit more feasible, and I could actually see a lot of this stuff taking place, and I could actually see this being real. And if I'm being totally honest, the one point to me that would be a bit of a confusing point would be the new megas including the starters and Dragonite. But that could be a way for them to keep Mega Evolution alive in the main series franchise while still kind of catering to the old school Mega Evolutions that we got to see featured in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. People have been saying, are Megas gone? Are they dead? What's going on? But Pokemon Go is adding them this year. So clearly the Pokemon franchise is not willing to walk away from Mega Evolution, and they shouldn't be. Megas are a huge fan favorite, a massive hit, and I anticipate them to continue to come back in future games, especially if we leave the Galar region for Diamond Pearl remakes or whatever it may be. Pokemon has a habit of mixing things up. Just because they change something once, like Dynamaxing or like Totem Battles, and instead of gym leaders in the Alola region, that doesn't mean they can't revert back to their old formula. And I think that Alolan example is a perfect example. They tried something different with the totems, and then we went back to gym leaders in Galar. And in Galar, we have Dynamaxing, and it's very possible we go back to Mega Evolution. So we'll have to see there. But this sounds awesome. And, you know, listen, I was not someone who wanted Let's Go, you know, Umbreon, Espeon, Ho-Oh, Lugia, whatever. I wasn't someone who wanted that until all of this has happened, where we saw that image of, you know, I think it was Ishihara in front of all those Johto Pokemon, and the light bulb went off in my head, and I'm like, is it possible that we could actually get another game this year on top of Crown Tundra and still get Diamond Pearl next year? That would be insane. Now, I'm gonna be honest, this one is incredibly fan servicey, man, and it almost reads like a fan fiction in terms of how this person typed it out. But it's still pretty interesting regarding the Crown Tundra, and I think it'll be fun to jump into. So let's kind of skim through what this person's saying. So they're saying that they had a chance to obviously play Crown Tundra or see parts of it. A lot of the stuff is leaked. As we know, there are real leaks for Crown Tundra. And this person mentions that there is new Galarian forms, Caravana and Sharpedo. And I know you might be like, wait a minute, we have Caravana and Sharpedo in the Isle of Armor. But I guess the idea here is that it's on the southern part or the northern part. I guess it's in the snowy region. So that Pokemon has mutated and is different than the one found in the Isle of Armor, because we can assume the sunny, beautiful Isle of Armor that has no snow is very, very drastically different from a landscape perspective than the Crown Tundra. They're almost contrasting. So the idea here is saying that the Caravana and Sharpedo lines did mutate differently around the Crown Tundra, and there's a normal and water typing, and it's based on the basking sharp that kind of lives in the freshwater lakes in the tundra. They retain rough skin, but they have overcoat. They're more tanky, not quite as fast, and they have a water type gyro ball. And then it goes on to say that the legendary bird trio are not Galarian forms, but rather something else. The overarching theme is that the Crown Tundra, you're rescuing Calyrex from Macrocosmos, who never actually disbanded. They were mining the Crown Tundra region long before you faced the champion. It all revolves around Dynamax energy again, and we get to fulfill more of the evil story through the villains of Macrocosmos. The DLC is set 6 months in the advance of the Isle of Armor and begins in Winden, where you meet former Chairman Rose, who apparently is released from custody, and Looker. Yes, he's back. Looker's back once again, and there's some mini quests in Winden, and then you actually head south to head towards the Crown Tundra. Looker's role is apparently pretty limited in Winden, but he becomes kind of someone that you interact with him and Rose. You get to the Crown Tundra via boat from Holberry, which takes you to the southernmost point of Galar, at which point you can then fly. You meet Peonies, who's someone who we know is a new character who might be related to Rose. Looker's old associate, who is from the Kanto region and a friend of Professor Oak, Peonies. You basically fight Macrocosmos mob, and you start to piece together what's going on. They're trying to harness the power of Calyrex for the good of Galar. There are a lot of caves to explore. We obviously know that there's that Dynamax kind of cave den thing going on there, and it implies that Macrocosmos actually created the various Dynamax dens around the tundra. They have captured the legendary bird trio from Kanto, and their experiments with Dynamax energy have transformed them into perfect weapons to assault the Tree of Life and thus Calyrex. So this is saying that those birds are not actually Galarian forms, but they're the actual original birds that have been, you know, kind of mutated through this Dynamax energy to attack this Tree of Life for Calyrex. Sounds kind of crazy, but it's not as crazy as some of the other things we've seen in Pokemon. And it talks about how you can kind of revert their forms back through these like DNA splicers like you would see with Kyurem. I was barred from further access from the Legendary Bird chapter, and everything's not final there, but I got to explore some various areas, which includes a handful of Pokemon, like, you know, some of what we've seen, Relicanth and Audino and Jinx and Gible and Minior and things like that. You know, Minior is a gift Pokemon from Macrocosmos, and then it says, overall, I like the traditional villain plot. Seems like a combination of teams from previous generations. So some pretty interesting stuff here, man. Again, this one is very like fan fiction written out and definitely a little different than some of the other rumors we've seen, but there are some pretty crazy things going on between this one and the Let's Go Johto stuff. I don't think we're gonna make anything else about this until we get that announcement on the 24th. I'm really excited to see what's coming for Pokemon, whether it's a new game, whether it's some new features, or what it's gonna be, but I have a feeling it's gonna be big. And even though I consistently set myself up to be excited for these things, and we consistently sometimes get pretty disappointed, I do believe that this could be a big one, simply because they decided to separate out this announcement from their main announcement, and that tells me that it's gotta be something big, because why else would they do that? Like, why would, if it was like a 2-minute, like, hey, we're working on this, or hey, this is coming in a few years or whatever, why wouldn't they have just thrown that into the main announcement? It has to be, in my mind anyway, some way that they didn't want to detract from the sales of the Isle of Armor, because they're coming out with something else later this year. And it would make a lot of sense if they dropped a new Pokemon game in September or something like that, and then release the Crown Tundra in November, or vice versa. I think I could actually see that timeline working out. So we'll have to see what happens. A lot of exciting stuff for Pokemon. I'm really thrilled for next week. I really want to see what's going to go down, and we're going to jump into it, man. It's going to be wild. I want to thank you guys for watching this video today. I know we've got some crazy leaks and rumors going on, and it's an exciting time to be a Pokemon fan, but be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe if you guys are new, get those notifications turned on, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'll be back to my regular office tomorrow, and hopefully my voice will feel a little bit better, as I've been doing a lot of streaming lately. If you enjoyed this one, I think you're gonna love this one, so check out this video here, and YouTube thinks that you'll like this one, so check out one of these videos, whoever you support, me or YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.